I'd like to say a word or two about our reading in Genesis of the stories about Jacob and Laban, and even going back further, even the generation before Jacob, Laban being Rebekah's brother. Clearly, even then, as Rebekah's brother, he's trying to manipulate this messenger of Abraham seeking a wife for Isaac, and that, yeah, okay, but we'll let her go, but in time, and wants to keep her around. And thankfully, Rebekah gets to go. Now, obviously, the house is divided between Isaac and Rebekah, which each of them having a favored son. And Jacob learns to be a schemer early on, and some of it from Rebekah, apparently. And then with Jacob and Laban, mutual manipulation. We'll find that even though Jacob holds the promise of God, he acts and continues to act as though nothing is sure or secured. I think we need to take a lesson from that. When we receive so much of God's love, promise, and power, and though we receive all this, we act as though we need to constantly be in fear. Certainly we don't give ourselves over much to the joy of the Lord, and we become a real danger, I think, to those around us. If we receive so much of the Lord and then live as though we're so uncertain of any of it, like we need to scheme and grasp for everything because we're fearful of our very survival or our sustenance, we become a real problem. Jacob will seemingly never to learn, and even when he receives the name Israel, meaning one who has struggled with God and prevailed. I mean, that's no little thing. But the feel of the need to struggle when God has already promised to give everything we possibly could need. And isn't that already from the beginning the temptation in the garden that God must be withholding something, or we must really have something beyond what God has given in order for us to be assured of our very survival and our receiving everything that we claim we might need. God has already provided for that. So that's Jacob's struggle, but it's struggle for all of us. And then I think it's worth asking, how is our witness if we claim to receive all this from God, yet we scheme and struggle as though we don't have anyone we can rely upon in the whole world but ourselves? Doesn't work out. Didn't work out well for Jacob. I guess it still doesn't really work out very well for us. And yet, God does fulfill God's promises, not because of us, but in spite of us, because God is sure of God's love, and God is sure about the truth and fulfilling everything that God has promised. I hope this is of help to you.